Thank you. Welcome back. Now, every crusader has a great sense of purpose, and our next story is about Auntie Inonge, who is a woman who believes that she was brought into this life for a purpose. Let's take a look.
With the scourge of HIV and AIDS and rising levels of poverty, the number of orphans has skyrocketed. Most of us are looking after our nephews and nieces who've lost their parents. Some of us are thinking the challenge is too big and doing nothing about it. But then there are others who are asking, what can I do? Auntie Inonge is one such person stepping up to those challenges. She runs a home that looks after children and takes care of the needy in society. If she were a philanthropist, that would have been okay. But we're talking about a widow in a 2-bedroomed house with no source of income, and she has no less than 10 mouths to feed. In the heart of Chilenje, we find Matthew 25 home. This home is run by Auntie Inonge, a remarkable woman who 13 years ago gave up her career in teaching to look after the needy and vulnerable in society. Over the years, the home has been a refuge to orphans, the disabled, and the old. Floyd, how do you know Auntie Inonge?
Auntie Inonge is my mom's cousin. They started out together, but along the road in '98, my mom passed on.
What kind of person is Auntie Inonge?
She's a sweet person, passionate about what she's doing. If you interact with her, you realize that for her, it's something beyond what other benefits other people may draw from such work. She's into it to just give. You
being close with your cousins, how much of what they would consider their family time do you think Auntie Inonge has sacrificed?
I think she's sacrificed quite a deal. You would have heard that at one time she suffered a stroke because of the pressure and the workload that she's had to engage in.
Tell me, you wrote into the program. Why exactly did you write in?
Right now, if you go into the house itself, there are boys and girls, and the space is not enough for young girls and young boys that are growing. At one point, they have to separate. So I was looking at the issue of bed space, accommodation, bigger grounds for the children to, interact and be children. And issues of food, their education, clothing, warmth, bedding. It's a lot that I would want to see her helped into.
Okay, baby. Hey, who's fighting?
Auntie Inonge, yeah, place
Yizwa Matthew 25 Ministries Home.
Okay, why mwabeza Matthew 25?
Kakuli mwa Bible umuzikuli Matthew 25 verses 31 to 46. I was hungry. You gave me something to eat. I was in prison. You visited me. I was homeless. You gave me shelter.
Why? King Samuel project.
I was a teacher and I was writing the date on the board. So instead of me writing, today is Monday, 25th January 1995, I wrote today is Monday, 25th Matthew 1995. So when I got home, I got my Bible and started reading. I started asking myself, have I fed people who are hungry? Have I invited the homeless into my house? So the answer was no, and I started crying. That was a Monday. Tuesday, when I knocked off, I met a mental patient who asked me for money. I said, I don't have money. And after some time again, I met the same mental patient asking for money. I said, I don't have money. After some time again, still met this mental patient asking me for money. But for the third time, I realized that that man was not a mental patient. That man was Jesus Christ of Nazareth. And I cried. And from that day, I felt the Lord was calling me to minister to people who are mentally sick, to minister to people who are disabled, to minister to people who are orphans, the street kids, the widows, the lepers, the prisoners, people with different disabilities.
Go down into Egypt, go tell Pharaoh, Pharaoh, let my people go. Oh, when you Pharaoh, let my people go. Oh, when you Pharaoh, let my people go. Go down, go down into Egypt, go tell Pharaoh, Pharaoh, let my people go.
Wow. And we'll be back with more of Auntie Inonge's story after the break.
Maggie, so when you were touching base, when she was telling you about what she's doing, what about her story touched you the most?
When she was talking about helping underprivileged children, we'd lost both our parents and we just wanted to give back to society. When she started telling us about her experience and what she was doing, we wanted to see how we can help. And one of the first things that she was challenged with was accommodation because she didn't have a place to keep her first 2 kids. Mom had died and left us a house in Chilenge, and we were not living there. It was on rent, but we thought to give her to take care of children was a more noble cause than the rentals that we perceived would make from the house. Yeah.
Okay, I've just been to the home and she's got quite a number of orphans. Tell me, what is it like growing without someone to look up to, without their parents?
At that stage, when they're young, they just need to know that there's somebody they can run to, somebody loves them and they're cared for. That they have a stable home is good. It makes a difference. It helps them not cry as much. But you cry all the way. The older you grow, the more you miss your parents. So it's a very challenging experience.
Joshua,
Yes.
how long have you been here?
I've been here for more about 7 years.
And you got here from where? How did you get here?
As Mom said that I was at Maternal Care Center and she just came there and gave out some clothes, food, and then she came for the second time. She came to pick me, yes.
You're at school?
I'm doing grade 8. I'm going to grade 9 next year.
What are your experiences like with the other guys?
They are my brothers too, just the same state, just like I am in.
Tell me about Auntie Inonge. What is she like?
Mother Inonge is a kind mother who has just saved our lives, you know. Maybe some of us would have died, but through the grace of God, God has used her to raise us and to give us all the love that we require.
Sam, do you know why you ended up at an orphanage in Matera?
I had my mother. She brought me she came here to town. She was a businesswoman. She left me with my uncle, somewhere in Kanyama then. Then she went back to Mazabuka. That's where I used to stay. Then my uncle, though she used to treat me not all that fine. So after some days, then I went to see my sister, because we came with me and my sister, my small sister. So I went to see her there. Then I told her that I'm going. Then I started going. I caught a train. Then the train stopped at Lilanda somewhere there. Then I dropped out. Then I stayed there. Then the train continued. Then the next day the rain started. Then one person was passing by. I told him what happened. Then he corrected me.
What do you think about your mom?
Actually, by now I don't think so. She's alive. I think she already passed away.
What makes you say that?
She wasn't fine. She was ill, something like TB.
And your sister, do you ever think of her?
I do.
And how does that make you feel?
It's not easy.
It's not easy. If there's one thing you could wish for right now, what would it be?
To see my family once again.
In a world filled with materialism and people who are self-centered, angel sightings are quite rare. But I'd like to count myself amongst the few people who've been blessed to see and meet with an angel.
Let's meet this amazing woman now. Auntie Nonge is here with us. I was talking to Floyd earlier, which was quite naughty, that you actually started in 1987 going to visit lepers and so on. Auntie Nonge has actually been, you know, saving people's lives or helping people for a long, long time. It's not just recent. So please, let's give her a round of applause. As Floyd was saying on that footage, you have stretched everything, your time, your heart, you know, your resources. And so for that, Celtel would like to reward you, or at least make your burden lighter. And so I think Jeff wants to come in. Woo! Look! Look, Natasha!
Good evening, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Fine, thank you.
And just for a short while, we know you have many mouths to feed. You'll need something to put in the fridge and cook on the stove. So we've got a $1 million kwacha voucher from ShopRite just to help.
We have a message from someone on the screen, I think.
Let's have a look.
Oh.
What's that?
That is what is happening. Celtel is so grateful and appreciates the work you're doing that they have decided to build you more space. All we have there so that you can continue the good work you're doing and probably get a lot more kids.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you on Touching Lives, Auntie Nonge. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for all the good work that you're doing.
Thank you very much. I really thank the Lord. I really thank Celtel for what they are doing. God bless them.
Now, sometimes the promptings that direct our purpose come from within, like Noah Manda, who took his experience and is now helping others. Or like Auntie Nonge, it came in the form of a writing or a person who was mentally ill that she met. But if you have a prompting, then don't just sit there, act on it, because you never know. Celtel might just be there to touch your life. Join us next week.